Hey guys, this is Mentor Tooba. I am going to discuss a very interesting PMP scenario in this video. This time it is about Agile implementation. Let's have a look at the scenario. The situation is that the team is tasked with creating a new product. The team reports that completing the iteration is difficult due to a new and unique requirement. What should the Agile practitioner do? Option A, extend the current iteration as long as it takes to deliver. Option B, request a specialist to join the project team temporarily. Option C, copy a similar feature of another product and improve it later. And option D, split the story across several iterations until the feature is done. So before I get into detail, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you get notified about the interesting project management content we keep on posting every other day. Okay, so about this scenario, some important terminologies that we need to focus. Number one is that the team is finding it difficult to complete the current iteration, and that's a problem statement. And the reason behind that is that they are actually dealing with a new and unique requirement during that iteration, right? So they have a problem, and there's a reason behind that as well, and we are expected to apply the root cause analysis in this question. One by one, the option choices. Extend the current iteration as long as it takes to deliver, which is option A. Option A is right away incorrect. This is not the right thing to do for the reason that this is an iteration based agile implementation, and because there's a mention of iteration in the question, and in iteration based agile we are expected to keep the sprint length constant so that the team performance via team velocity and other KPIs is a true representation of their work and their rate, right? So extending the current iteration is not the actual solution to this cause and the problem, right? No matter how long the iteration is, as long as you are not going to focus on the root cause, which is new and unique requirement, you probably would not be able to solve this problem even if the iteration length is extended. So option A is out. Option B, request a specialist to join the project team temporarily. Now this sounds like a good option, because when you are dealing with something new, something you don't have experience on, or something something that requires a research and some kind of exploration, this is always going to be a good idea to talk to someone who has that expertise, who knows something, or who has some detailed exposure in that regard. So requesting a specialist or a subject matter expert to join the team temporarily, maybe for that iteration or maybe for a day or for a couple of days, is going to be a good idea. And I would like to keep that option. Let's check the other options. Maybe we have something better than B. Option C, copy a similar feature of another product and improve it later. Now, this option, like option A, is altogether out and not a good thing to do. The reason being, if you are going to copy a similar feature of another product in that current iteration or in the current product, then number one, this is not going to help, because the problem that you are facing is that it's a new and unique requirement you are working on. So most likely you don't have any previous experience in the organization regarding that. And even if you do, just as it is copy pasting like something similar in the previous product or another product in your current product, is most likely going to increase the chance of technical debt, and probably this is actually going to contribute towards waste, which doesn't align with the agile mindset, right? So this option is not a good choice to go for as per agile mindset. Option D. So the real contest is between option B and option D now. Option D, split the story across several iterations until the feature is done. Option D is a good choice. I would say it's a good choice. And this completely aligns with Agile mindset as well, because when you are dealing with a story which is extensive in nature, or which has some major scope of work, or which is exploratory in nature as well, which demands some R&D or some extended work, it's a good option to divide that work into smaller stories and probably span that across multiple iterations. So as a statement, this option is totally okay. However, like I said in the beginning of the video, that we are expected to apply root cause analysis in this situation. So we have a problem, and there's a cause behind that as well. And we are expected to understand that cause and what we need to do to completely eliminate that cause, so that that problem is going to be resolved and it's not going to occur again, right? So this is expectation of root cause analysis. The reason behind that situation is that, or the reason why we are not able to complete the iteration is because of a new requirement, which is probably taking more time than expected, or more exploratory effort than expected. And just by doing D, this is not going to 100% resolve. Maybe partially, yes. Maybe a team requires time across 3 iterations per se to do that work, but that is still going to be conditional. Without the right guidance, without the right direction, without the right understanding, even if they go with D, probably they would struggle. Or most likely they would take more time than expected than going with option B with a subject matter expert, or like someone who has experience in that. So when I posted this question on my regular Friday post, I actually got that same debate over there in the comments area, where people actually went for option D, with more inclination, by saying that option D is the right thing to do because it's a new requirement, or it's like some detailed work probably not able to complete in that iteration, and for that probably you should not be affecting that iteration. Maybe you should be spanning that across multiple iteration, and option D is going to be the best thing to do. Yes, option D is going to be a right thing to do, but it's not the best thing to do, because best thing between B and D is B. So with B and maybe some part of D, you are actually going to be in the right situation to complete the work. Maybe not in time, maybe not in the same iteration, but at least in the right direction, and maybe in less time with respect to D only, right? So option B is the right thing to do by onboarding a specialist or a subject matter expert or domain expert in the team, and speaking to him and getting the right understanding and clarity, and maybe based on his experience, you should be moving forward as a team. So one other comment or debate that I saw again on that same poll with respect to B is that how can we just onboard someone who is new to team just in the middle of an iteration, and it requires budgeting and onboarding process and talking to HR and approvals and this and that, etc. And yes, with respect to resource management, this is actually a very genuine concern. However, if you check this option carefully, temporarily is mentioned, and not every time if you collaborate with someone in Agile, especially, you are actually hiring them for the team, right? There's a concept of cross-team collaboration in Agile mindset, where teams collaborate, and the functional managers are okay to lend their resources for a couple of hours and couple of days, and that actually doesn't impact budget or any kind of resource arrangements at their end. So it's a temporarily connect of that team, of that member with the team, and maybe based on that, if team feels that yes, we need this member like as a full-time member or maybe as a partial member in our team, In that case, the formal onboarding process would be needed, and budgeting and costing and approvals and everything would be needed. But for the time being, it's just like getting the help from some other team member or for some other resource from other team. And this is a very, very common practice, especially when you are working in a metrics type of organization, metrics type of organizational structure.